Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you guys how to create tables via SQL in my SQL database. So creating a table step by step, first we have to understand what this statement do. So the create table statement is used to create a new table in a database. It's like creating a database is like you're buying a house, but creating a table is like buying furniture in your house. So to do so, you have to fulfill three requirements. The first is you have to define your table name. Second, define columns. And third, to categorize data types for your columns. And here has a syntax example. So basically you write in create table and your define table name and columns, and for each of the column you have to include a data type. Then lastly, to include the primary key for which of the column you want to define as a primary key, which is known as a unique key for your table. Okay, let's quickly hop onto my SQL Workbench, run a sample SQL code. Now I'm in my SQL Workbench. As you can see, here has two schemas or databases. The first one is the testing database I just created previously, which named CJ test. And in this schema has no tables. Let's create the first table in here. To do so, you first have to select the database you want to use for creating this table. So to select the database, you have to type in use, and your database name here is a CJ test and semicolon. Then you can hit the execute button. Then you can see your database being selected to use. Then next you want to create a table. Then as a syntax I have showed, create table, you can type in for the SQL syntax, you don't. It doesn't matter whether you want to use uppercase or lowercase, but we highly suggest you use the uppercase. So in future, when you share your SQL file to your coworkers or friends, it will be easier to read. So let's continue. So for creating a table, you have to give a table name. Let's call it users and parentheses, and then you have to name your column. Let's say the first column I want to use is a person ID, and the data type is an integer. The second column I want to put last name. Data type we can use voucher, and parenthesis 30. This means is the limited the length of the input to 30, and the first name let's define with the same data type voucher and limited to 30. And the fourth column, let's give to address voucher to include let's do with a longer limit. Last, let's define a primary key here. Let's say primary key and parentheses, as we can use a person ID since each person can only register one account per this design. And after you complete all your columns and set up the primary key, you can just close the parentheses and also type in the semicolon and hit execute. Then you can see the output result show it the SQL has executed successfully. Then you can hit the refresh button and you can find your table has been created in here. If you click the table icon here, you can see those four columns you have just created. And if you type in DESC, let's use the uppercase as I mentioned, DESC, the table name, the users, and semicolon, it will return the table structure that you've been used, which include the fields, the column names, and the data types. Also the none, since the first one is no, is because the primary key has to be input before you can complete the rest of the column info. Alright, that's it for today's video. Thank you for watching, and please feel free to leave comment if you have any questions, and don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.